Welcome to Sketching Angles in Standard Position. So what we have right here is your XY axis and a circle that is centered at the origin on top of it. Now, if you want to go and sketch angles, all angles in standard position have an initial side on the positive x-axis. In other words, we're always going to start here, and that never changes. So always start here at the positive x-axis. Now, next is you need to know that positive angles rotate in a counterclockwise direction. If you ever get confused, literally look at a clock and head in the opposite direction of which it is turning. So we are going to go up that way. And then you're going to finish off your angle. The top side of it is called your terminal side. And terminate, right? If they are terminating you at your job, it means you are being fired. Something is ending. That's what terminate means. So terminal side means where the angle ends. Now, if you wanted to go in the opposite direction, that would actually be a negative angle. So positive angles head counterclockwise, negative angles head clockwise. What that would mean is you start at the initial and you go down. Now let's actually talk about how far we're going to open these angles. So we always start at 0 degrees, right? That's our starting point. And we know that a full circle is 360 degrees. What we're going to do is break this up into 4 pieces, right? Your 4 quadrants of the circle. So we have our first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. We're going to take 360 degrees, break it up into the 4 pieces. That means your first piece is 90 degrees. So this angle would be 90 degrees. Half of a circle, the next angle would be 180 degrees. That would be a circle that opens flat. Your next one is 270 degrees. And then if you were to add another 90 degrees, you would get back to 360. So for each angle, you just keep adding 90 for each section. Now, these 4 angles are special. They're called quadrantal angles because they divide the circle up into the 4 parts, one for each quadrant. These are for positive degrees. Remember, if you have a positive angle, we're going counterclockwise. However, if you have a negative angle, you go clockwise. So instead of starting by going up to 90, you're actually going to go down to negative 90. 180 degrees is now going to be negative 180. Up top is going to be negative 270. And then, of course, the ending would be negative 360 degrees if you were to be sketching negative angles. Let's actually try it out. We're sketching 120 degrees. If I were you, I would first label your quadrantal angles to help you out. We're always starting at your initial side. It's positive 120 degrees, so that means I'm going to be going up, and you need to know where to end. Well, 120 is between 90 and 180, so we're going to end up in the second quadrant. And if you think about it, is 120 closer to 90, or is 120 closer to 180? And the answer is it's closer to 190, so just estimate where it's going to go. And you need to include the little circle on the inside. That lets me know that I started from the initial and went up. That way it's positive. Same thing with the next one. 0, 360, 90, 180, and 270. We're talking about 225, which is between 180 and 270. This angle is going to end in your third quadrant. Start at the initial side, and we're ending somewhere between 180 and 270. 225 is actually in the middle. And show which way that you're traveling from the initial up counterclockwise. When you label the next one, this is a negative angle, so we're going to start at 0 and head to negative 90, negative 180, negative 270. Negative 30 is between 0 and 90. So we're going to start at the initial, but this time we're going to head down, and negative 30 is closer to 0 than it is to negative 90. And this time, the line goes inside because we're starting from the initial and going down. Last one, because it's negative, relabel everything. Negative 240 is between negative 180 and negative 270. So you're going to end, I want to say that it's closer to 270. But this time, because if you notice, this angle looks exactly like the first angle. But it's not. It's different because it's not positive. We're not going upwards. We're going downwards. We're going clockwise because it is negative. So we need to show that the line is in the opposite direction. And that's all for this video.